Welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at how to start creating your own Google map. Now you can get to Google Maps by using the application launcher or by simply typing in maps.google.com into your address bar. To get to the map area, you're going to click on the hamburger, Your Places, and then Maps. Again, this is a list of my existing maps. Now I could see those, or I can, in this case, let's just create a map directly from here. Notice that it opens in a new tab. And it should open generally to a map of the United States. But what I would like to do is I'm just going to search in here. And that will bring me into a view closer to the view that I want to actually use. Now you can see that it's trying to put a point on the map to begin with. And you can click this button to add it directly to your map. You can see it's over here. So let me just add that to the map for a second. That's not really what I want. When I do, you can see that the window changes. It gives me latitude and longitude. It gives me some information that it has found and a series of tools that we'll look at later. I could just click the remove, and that's going to remove the top information. But if I click the trash can, it will take it off my map altogether. Now in this video, we're just going to look at the basics of setting up the map itself, not so much using these tools or putting points on the map. So to start with, my map doesn't have a title. So simply clicking on it will bring up the title box. And I'm going to make this about the location of the schools. It gives you the option for adding a description. You can put anything you'd like in there. And when you say save, you'll notice that your map changes. It gives you both the name and the description here. It also says all changes saved in Drive. So if I jump back to my Google Drive, well, I don't see it right away. Probably the easiest way to find it is to search by last modified. And now immediately under my folders, you're going to see that there's the map right here. There's also a second map. This is a map I was playing around with earlier. So like anything else in Google Drive, you can simply delete what you don't want. Okay. Now coming back to the map itself, you can see we have this little message here. Just know that you could import a map if you had it in the correct format. We're not going to do that right now. We'll take a look at that later. Down at the bottom you have something called base map, and this is a default. You're used to seeing this, but if you didn't want this as your base, you could pick satellite view. So this is the images that Google has captured. You can click this one, which is showing you actually elevations. You can see them here. I'm going to scroll. Well, let me scroll in. Here are the Palisades along here, and if I scroll out, you'll get a better view. You can see the elevations, the mountains over here. And I can just search again. That'll recenter my map for me. Okay, now when it appears over here again, I can just trash it right away. Okay, other options for base map are here, and these are just different color combinations. There's one where the roads are not quite so prominent. There's one where the major arteries are, different color schemes. This might be a nice contrast. So you could just look through there and see what your options are. I'm going to go back to the original base map. Now, in maps, there are things called layers. So in other words, we can, as we create points or drawings or anything on the map, we can do those in groups, basically. And those are called layers. You start with one layer, which is an untitled layer, and if you click on that, I'm just going to type in school locations, and that changes the title. You notice there's no description for layers. There's just a name. Now the other controls that you need to worry about, well, we've got a couple here. This is where you would add additional layers. So if I wanted to add parks or points of interest and I wanted them separated from this layer, because this is just about schools, I would use this button, but we'll look at that in future videos. You do have the option to share, and this is going to bring you to the ubiquitous Google sharing dialog window. So you should know about this from previous activity that we've done. But remember, if you just want to make something more or less public so everybody can see it, the easiest way is to come in here and change this to either public on the web, which means it can be searched by Google. It'll come up in a Google search result, or anyone with a link, meaning anybody can see it, but it won't come up in Google search results. That's the easiest way. And then you can give access to view or to edit. And for something like this, you would never want to say edit, because just anybody unbeknownst to you who stumbled across it could make changes. So that's pretty much always going to be view. If you're in a G Suite environment, a Google Apps environment, you'll have additional links, such as anyone with the link from your district, or anyone from your district, even if they don't have the link. So those are other options you should be familiar with. I'm going to cancel that for now. You can also share it individually with people down here by knowing their Gmail address. So you do that and you have the options of edit and view. And a lot of times it's more common to let someone edit here. So I could share this with another person. In this case, I'll just share it with another Gmail account I have. And I'm going to let that person edit it. So this is someone I'm working with who can make changes. We're partners here. I could send a copy to myself if I want. I can add a message to myself or to the people I'm sending it to if I want. And this box is notify people. So if I didn't want to send them an email, I could simply unclick that, say OK, and share it with them, and notify them in some other way. Last option you have down here is to prevent editors. That's these people who have edit option from changing access and adding new people. So in other words, although I share it with them right now, because this is unchecked, they can just share it with another person. But if I want to limit that, I can check this box here. I'm going to go ahead and finish the sharing process, say OK, and I'm going to skip invitations. I said I didn't want to send an email, and there you go. Now I can just click done, and that's done. Okay, additional option you have here is to preview. So what that will do is it will open up the map, or it will show you a view of what somebody will see it like if it's been shared with them, or if they access the map without the controls. So let me close that up for a second. Here you can see controls, etc. So that's going to look different depending on how you share it and post it. Okay, under your title, you can see that there are some other options here. I could make a new map. If I'm done with this one, instead of going back to my other area, I could just make a new map here. I could copy this one. I could open another one. I could throw this one in the trash. I could set a default view. We'll look at that later. To embed in my site, well, I'd have to have made it public. So if I do that, it's basically just going to give me the embed code to do that. Export to KML, that's a map format where other people could import it, or I could simply print it. So some basic options available there. Under school locations, you also have some options, such as renaming it, although I could have just clicked on it to do the same. Delete this layer. So if I have multiple layers and I decide I wanted to reorganize, I didn't need a layer, I could click this and it would disappear. Or I could open the data table, and I'll show you what that looks like. When you open it up, right now it just gives a name and a description, but as you add things, you'll start to see this grid or this table populated with information for things you add on the map. Okay, those are the basic controls over here, and we'll see how to use them as we learn about these tools in another video.